How long do you guys think you should wait after a breakup to get into another relationship?
I feel like at least a year.
Depends how long you were with in that relationship. How long are we talking?
7 years.
Oh, damn. Oh, no, yeah, a year.
A year?
A year. 7 years is a long time. If it were like less, not even a year, then you can move on.
But I feel like it also depends on where you are in life, like what age you are, and was it a marriage too?
Your girlfriend died
Oh,
after 7 years.
that's so tragic.
You're in your 30s.
I would say
Early 30s. How long until you move on?
at least 1 or 2 years of mourning. It's hard. It's complex. You need time to like recover because I feel like sometimes when somebody close to you dies, it doesn't hit you until like a year later.
Well,
I
I'm
guess
currently
maybe I
going
had
through that.
What
It's
are you
been
talking about?
It's been a month since Shelly
Oh my god.
is no longer with me. And I think you're right. I need at least a year before I get another upgrade.
That's different.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
That's just the car.
So many memories with my truck. So many firsts with Shelly. It's your favorite taquero here with my beloved sisters. And this is the 11th episode of Guac and
Chippies.
On the topic of relationships, do y'all think that it's ever okay to cheat?
No, it's not okay to cheat because it's not fair to the other person.
Why isn't it fair?
It just feels like that's a waste. Like it was a waste of years.
I don't know. I think I'm no one to judge anyone for their actions. I'm very ignorant to the realities of life just because I haven't been in long-term committed relationship. So I can't imagine what it might be being in a relationship that no longer satisfies your needs. I know for a fact just because the way I was raised that I probably wouldn't, but I don't think I judge anyone for their actions. That's between them and God, and if they choose to do that, if that's part of their morals, their character, then they're going to face the consequences of that.
I disagree with you. Like
What if you've already checked out of the relationship and then you choose to cheat and then days after you address it to your partner and you break up with that person?
Well, that's because first you have to address it. You have to be a grown-up. People are out here thinking that
I just don't
they
think
can
it's
do
just
whatever
it's
they
black
want.
and
No,
white.
yeah, I think cheating in general, in my opinion, is wrong. If you already feel like you don't find value in a person because you choose to be in a relationship every day, whether you're married, whether you're not married, where you're just trying things out, it's a choice. And the problem with cheating is that you promise, or at least a lot of times you're telling your person that you love them and you're okay with the situation, because I think that if you're not happy anymore, then you have the option to change that. And even if kids are involved, sometimes it's better just to speak it out with your partner and say, hey, this is going on. I don't like, either one, you could try to make it work, or two, I don't think I can make it work anymore. We need to end this. And you could still co-parent. Obviously, it's not the ideal situation, but it could still be a case. And it comes back to you, like, if you care for the person, why would you hurt somebody that you love and you care,
or used to care,
or you used to care about? I think it's just, cheating is a no-go, and if it happens, then that person, at the end of the day, I think they didn't care for you like they said they would.
I already said I don't condone cheating, but what I am saying is when you're in the situation, I highly doubt that most people would do the right thing. You haven't been in the situation where you've actually been tempted, but then you look at somebody who's cheating on someone and then you automatically say, oh, that's bad. Obviously, that's bad. It's a negative thing. No one's going to condone cheating, but you've never actually experienced it. You've never actually been in a relationship where you can say, I no longer like this person. And then you just find, you come across a better individual and you just decide to commit the act. And then later, after the fact, you end up dumping the guy that you were with. And so that's why I say that I am very inexperienced when it comes to that. I've never been in this situation, right? I don't condone cheating, but I don't think it's just black and white. Like it's good or it's bad. Like I just think there's like a big gray area that I understand why someone would do it. If you have kids with someone and then for whatever reason your partner is not satisfying your needs, whatever they may be. It's not just sexual, it's just other stuff as well, right? You are tied down to that person because of the individual, and you are forced to be with that person for the better of your kids.
Yeah, but that's where communication comes in play. Like,
Yeah.
you have to vocalize, you know what?
It's kind of like,
you're not cooking for me, and I would like for you to cook. Maybe, and then the wife could be like, well, I don't like to cook. And then the compromise can be like, okay, I'll cook for you twice a week, and the rest of the days I want to eat out.
And you're saying there's temptation, like, we've never been into that, you know, we've never dealt with temptation like that, but, like, if there's temptation, I think there's signs before the temptation that you know you're gonna do it for sure. So if you know there's little signs of you, like, already leading to that temptation, then that's when you could decide and rethink, and because I'm sure you guys think before you cheat. Like there's no doubt in that, and I don't think they just do it to just do it. So
obviously you have to make a series of bad decisions that leads to that.
Exactly.
You start talking to someone a way you're not supposed to. You end up hanging out with someone you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But like what I said, you just moved in with that person, and you guys both signed a lease to the same place. You have financial obligation to one another.
You could still break up with them, and if they are obligated to pay those finances,
I believe you. Like, I believe you guys,
up.
and I understand that, and I understand why you guys say that. But I've seen it happen so many times. What if you married a guy and he is completely paralyzed? And he's basically a vegetable. He's still alive, but he still needs to. How would you satisfy your physical needs?
A lot of people have been in that situation.
Yeah,
already.
I know. So do
and
you just remain abstinent?
They buy
abstinent.
There's this guy who's paralyzed on TikTok from the waist down, and whenever he wants to have activities with his wife, he bought a chair. So there's a specific chair for that, and they do the deed. So I think, if it's paralyzed like completely, then that's a challenging situation, but I feel like that's why they've invented toys.
Okay, so what if, another scenario, I'm trying to find something that can,
you want me to
corner.
cheat?
No, I'm just saying, like if you guys are pressed into the right corner, like, would you? You have someone that's safe, like a boyfriend that is safe, right? He's not as exciting as you wish he were, but he's just safe. He does everything he's supposed to do, but you end up coming across someone who is just astronomically better.
I break up with him.
But the last piece of it, the last variable is that you are unsure of the commitment with the other person. So you break up with your safe bet. You try to engage with a guy, and you know for a fact that he's not going to take you serious. And he's just going to leave you eventually.
Then if I know that, then why would I want to ruin the relationship that I know that is good, that I've seen those
And that is why
times.
I say you are still too young.
No. Second person can't give me what this one is giving me. Why would I want to cheat? If I think I have a big heart, so I think I would love the person like forever until we marry and till we die. But why would I want to cheat if he's giving me what I want?
So you're dating some guy, and then your celebrity crush runs into you or slides into your DM. You wouldn't respond to him? And right there, you already know for a fact that he's not going to take you serious. Would you engage with your celebrity crush? Or just like a very attractive athlete?
No, I don't really like athletes.
I do not have celebrity crushes, and I hate that. I mean, especially in my generation, I've always would hear boys having celebrity crushes, and that, to me, if you do have one, I think it's weird. But I don't have a celebrity crush.
Why is it weird to have a celebrity crush?
Because that means they see them in a way that, I don't know, they just see them in a way that could be weird. Like, maybe, like, they like them too much. Like,
you're supposed to idolize.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, well, I guess
that's a bunch of BS. Why do you have a crush on a guy from school?
Because
like,
he's attractive.
That's it?
And other things that you might find, but
like what?
By the first, personality.
Okay,
or
what else?
Anything.
Yeah, physical traits. There's a whole checklist of why you would have a crush on a person. Why can't you have a crush on a celebrity?
Because no. To me, no.
Athletes, no, but if, like, for example, a musician, like, one of the One Directions, what's his
Exactly,
name?
or certain talents like
Niall.
knowing how to sing.
Was it
You
Niall?
can tell me if a guy
Can you
sings
let
to
me
you.
talk? Like Niall, I think it was Niall Horan. Like, he seems so cute and innocent. But Harry Styles, no, because he's just all over the place. So it just depends who it is. But if I was in a relationship, then I would not respond. I would have to tell my person, be like, hey, look who'd slide into my DMs. And because they wouldn't have good motives.
I think my future girlfriend will let me cheat on her.
Comment down below with your thoughts. Do you think cheating is ever okay? Did you see how the CEO went viral for being at a Coldplay concert and cheating with the HR head? On July 15, during a Coldplay concert in Massachusetts, Astronomer CEO Andy Byron appeared on a kiss cam, embracing his co-worker, the company's head of HR. They tried to hide from camera so they didn't play it off, and I guess everybody saw it because it's been the most talked, laughed at, memed at, everything. And that's why we're talking about cheating today.
Didn't he retire?
No, he didn't retire. One of the consequences, I guess, he ended up stepping out from the role, and now they're hiring. So the whole
That's
drama.
cool.
What do you mean that's cool? There was a statement that went viral that supposedly he didn't write, and it said, quote, "I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake, playing out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team of Astronomer." So that statement started circulating on July 17th. So the video was published July 15 when the concert happened. It went viral. People online started looking for them. And I think if they wouldn't have moved and just played it off, they would have been dismissed. But the fact that, they try to hide kind of made the social media people
I'm kind of liking this social media era of exposing cheaters. Like I saw another TikTok video of some girl going inside they're in a parking lot. He was just charging his Tesla, and there's like a BMW parked, and then a white SUV comes up. She gets in the BMW, and then they start making out or whatever. I don't think that one got as much light as it, but I kind of like it.
Till this day, Andy and the HR head have not spoken about the incident or made any public acknowledgement. There was a couple of videos circulating on social media of supposedly the daughter posting that, she's doing okay after the cheating scandal. Turns out that those videos are also fake. The daughter has not posted about it. And one of the companies that posted about it is using like the image of somebody else, and they're doing it to promote like tourism or something with travel. What do you all think about companies or people using that hype to promote their business? Is it ethical?
I like it. It's a way of being creative, piggybacking on the momentum that they have created. I've seen a lot of videos about that. It's kind of funny.
So then don't you think that Astronomer, the company, should have taken advantage of that and made like social media posts?
I think for them it's a little different because they don't want to condone that behavior.
Really? Astronomer's official LinkedIn posted a statement confirming the resignation of Andy Byron.
Damn.
And
that dude's life's going to get turned upside down.
Do you think that it was okay for him to resign? Do you think the HR manager should also resign? Should they be dismissed in general? Like, should it affect their work life?
I personally don't know, like, how does that affect company culture? Because I've never been a part of that. Part of like a business where I'm working for someone. I think
power dynamics.
Yeah, but it's
because you have influence.
Like, do workers or do business owners really condone this idea of workers cannot, date?
In the medical field, doctors cannot really date their patients.
Well, obviously, patients is different, but I'm talking about like their coworkers.
I think there's like some rules to coworkers, but I don't know the exact rules. Comment down below if you know the exact rules.
I guess it's unethical. Like, for example, I guess in a different way, like a tangible to that, where I can see how it would affect things, is I wouldn't do a business with a person that cheats on his wife. I'm gonna open up a restaurant and I'm taking capital from him, and we're gonna go in as business partners, and then we go out and I see or something as simple as him mistreating like a server, or him actively cheating on his wife, I wouldn't do business with him. So I guess I can see why he stepped down.
Yeah, because wasn't he a CEO? Yeah. So, yeah, so my question to you guys is, would you, if your boss cheated like that, would you still work for the company? Now, would you guys still work for the company if your boss cheated on their wife or girlfriend? I mean, yeah, because it's the man, but...
I don't have a boss. Oh, hypothetically,
Yeah.
well, hypothetically speaking, if I was working for a business, I wouldn't. I don't think that's enough. That's between them. That's like drama. I don't think it affects me from getting my paycheck.
No, I think it's complicated because sometimes you don't work directly with the CEO. A lot of people are just working with other people and other teams. In one of the jobs that I had, the vice president of news had a lawsuit happening with the anchor at the time, and she was accusing him of sexual harassment. So in those situations, you do just have to be, alert that it's happening in the workforce. And so whenever you're not okay with something, you either have to vocalize it or find a way, like an exit strategy. And when I came in, I was coming in when he was about to like resign and they were going to do a settlement. So you just like, if you're going to take the job, just be aware that the work culture might be toxic and you have to have your own boundaries and learn how to navigate through those situations, because sometimes, unfortunately, there are people that are not good intentions or goodwill, and they might use like their position of power to stunt your growth. And so if you see that, you need to figure out an exit strategy.
I wouldn't do business with cheaters, and I wouldn't be friends with cheaters. It's hard for me to imagine myself working for a company, so I can't really say if that would motivate me to find a different job.
Should coworkers be allowed to date in any circumstance?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking both of you.
Oh, I think
should be
sometimes.
allowed, but make sure you don't have a wife or a girlfriend.
I don't
or
think
boyfriend.
I don't think there's anything you can do to stop it. Like, no paycheck is gonna stop me from wanting to date. Actually, I'll think about it a little more because it could get a little messy.
Yeah, it can get toxic in the environment.
But in my experience,
Especially
mixing business with pleasure is just never a good idea. And so if you're gonna do it, just make sure that the woman is actually someone special. Like, it wouldn't be just like, oh, I guess I can try it. If she just sweeps me out of my feet, I'm gonna be like, okay, I guess it's worth a shot.
And I don't know if the head of HR ended up leaving, but I would assume that she probably will. Maybe just looking for some time.
His wife is gonna take him to the cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what everybody was talking about.
You know what? She's also gonna sue him, probably. I'm not sure. Like, emotional, because her drama was made public. Oh man, that dude is
cooked.
He's cooked.
I mean,
so like now that he has
he's
a
probably
drawback.
trying to apologize
should.
behind the scenes.
Yes, agreed 100%, as he should. Everything. I don't condone cheating. I need to re-emphasize that because my entire set, my first part,
full, now they're gonna be
the first
empty.
part of the question, it
I
kind of
know.
makes it, doesn't it kind of make it
You
seem
make it
like
seem
I'm
like
for
you're
it?
for it.
Like, I'm
Like,
all
it's
for
okay.
it. No.
I will say, I don't know
How would you react if you guys cheated on Jocelyn?
if I get cheated on.
Yeah.
I'll be pissed. I'll be very pissed. And sadly, I'm like working on this, but I hold grudges. So I'm going to hold a grudge. And I think it's hard to recover from that. Like, I've seen it like on family members, and sadly, it has taken a toll in their relationships. You don't fully get the full trust of the person back again.
So do you think it's over completely, the relationship?
Yeah.
You couldn't.
I don't know if I wouldn't feel safe anymore. Like, I would feel betrayed. Like, I mean, I know it's not going to be my fault, but there wouldn't be that, like, every time that he would leave, in my back of my head, even though he is going to get pizza, there's going to be like a thought like, oh, how about if he went somewhere else? Yeah.
We should order some today.
I know we should.
I have an A. Like, I'm actually down for some.
How about you?
What about you, Leila? What would you do?
What would you do
if your babe were to cheat on you?
And that's why. And here I'm gonna bring this up. I think this is why. Sorry, Leila. I think this is why it's important for women to have some financial literacy, because if it does come to a case where your partner is abusive, or they cheat on you, or something drastic that is not aligning with the morals or what you believe in, you have to have a way to kind of be able to start over.
A certain level of financial independence would be the word.
Financial independence.
Because literacy is just like you understand finances and you know where to move money. That's very different from financial independence.
First of all, I'll sell him a box of flies.
See, I told you that was a good idea.
No, I'm just kidding. But I would be devastated because, like, I trusted this fool my whole life, depending how long we were. And if there's kids involved, oh, you're gone. Like, I'm taking away those kids from you. You're not going to see them. I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. No, if it's possible for me to take away the kids from him, I will.
I mean, most of the time, like, it'll end up in your favor. Very, very rare do men get favorable terms when it comes to the kids. So I think that wouldn't be an issue as well. To the extent of forgiving her, I definitely wouldn't do that at all. Like, I'm very stubborn with that. Like, I expect the same amount of loyalty that I give to be reciprocated. So whenever that is broken, then like that is it. There's no going back from it.
Especially when you bring a lot of value to them.
Yeah. And so that's another thing I'm trying to say. Like, I see, no offense to the gentleman out, but like, I think it's far more difficult to find a competent man than it is to come across a beautiful woman. I think beautiful women are very, very easily to acquire nowadays. But morals and character, I feel like it would be much more difficult to find.
Yeah, I think everywhere you go, you could find a woman that looks presentable.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's harder to find men. Like, they tend to be more sluggish.
When it comes to relationships, who nowadays, modern day era, who do you think have it the worst, the men or the women?
Probably men.
Why do you say that?
Well, because they have a lot of access to a lot of things, and the men in the high percentage, they get what they want, and that's why they don't commit. And the men who are in the lower side, they have trouble, even getting a date. So I think, and
there's
now
a bigger percentage of men who are being ignored.
Yeah. And then now there's going to be like AI being introduced and robots.
So Lila, what about you? Who do you think have it worse when it comes to dating and relationships, men or women?
I think it's pretty even. I don't have it difficult. I think if I made a sign to a boy somewhere that I find attractive, I think they would go along with it. So I don't think it's difficult for me or anybody. You just got to put yourself out there. But I don't want to, so. So
wouldn't a guy have to go out of his way for you?
Yes, but they don't do it. So.
By definition, wouldn't that just mean that his job is more difficult because you're just there and he has to come to you?
No, you have to kind of give him signs, because he's not, like I said, nowadays they're not really approaching, and it has to do with the fact that social media has taken over, and they also are not being taught to approach. I would say. Mm-hmm. And so you have to kind of give signs. So if, like, some dating coaches have said, like, drop the handkerchief for the woman. And that's what they did in the old days. When they were in balls and courting the women that were interested in potential mates, they would walk by and just drop the handkerchief. And then the person would pick it up and, excuse me, miss, you dropped this. So maybe you don't have a handkerchief nowadays, but you do have keys, you have your water bottle.
Yo, some girl drops her water bottle. I'm ignoring. I'm gonna keep walking.
You're fucked up.
That is it.
See what we mean about doing
that's
small
not
gestures
okay.
with us here, because it like makes you want to do it over there. When
for example, I'm gonna say the grocery store, just because everybody goes to.
I think seeing a woman drop her water bottle is enough for me to be like, okay, I cannot breed with this woman.
Why?
Michael!
Imagine if she's carrying my kid, she's gonna drop him.
My God.
And
It's an example.
No,
Okay, fine.
no.
Fine.
That's a
Like
terrible
if
example.
you're at the grocery store and you see somebody that you think is cute and they're picking up like, you know, cucumbers, you can be like, "Excuse me, sir, do you happen to know where the
Like cucumbers. Strawberry.
the parsley is?" And then he's gonna be like,
Who is the guy picking up cucumbers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a red flag.
"What?" No, okay, fine.
Who the hell goes shopping for cucumbers?
What? I don't know. You don't shop for cucumbers?
No.
When you do cucumber juice?
Never do I buy cucumbers.
Okay, fine. He's buying
Meats.
protein meats or eggs,
Okay.
and you walk by. And you're
See,
like,
that's more
"Excuse me,
believable.
do you know where the pasture-raised eggs are? Even though they're right there." And then he'll be like,
Oh, that's
"Oh
good.
no, I'm."
You know
and
what's
then
funny?
he'll skim,
I was
and
at-
then he would be like, "Oh, they're right there," and be like,
Which
"Oh,
one's
thank
your
you so
favorite?
much.
Or which one's your
Have you tried
favorite?
these before?" And then he'll be like, "Oh no, I actually haven't," or "I have," or "Those are the ones that I buy," or whatever. And then you just be like, you just continue the conversation. And if he obviously mentions my wife or my kids, or he doesn't take initiative, then that's when you do something. Like the other day I was at Lowe's, and there was this cute guy who was walking by. I think he was with his dad or his grandpa, and he had really nice eyes. I should have just been like, he did stare at me like intensely, but he also looked a little younger, so that's why it didn't really bother. But he had really nice eyes, so I could have been like, "I like your eyes. I don't know. You have really nice eyes." But I don't know if it's weird, because you know men don't get compliments.
Well, for me, for the Kane situation, if I really wanted to, there was a moment where, like, I was able to have conversation with him, like, being like, "Oh, hey, how's your night going?" or something like that. "How's your day?" But I didn't. So it's also my fault. So I should have took an initiative, like she's saying. But yeah, I had a moment and I didn't do it. So, but he kept smiling at me. So now I'm stuck.
Yeah, and I usually think that smiling and just being open is encouragement for a conversation. So even if it doesn't lead anywhere, it doesn't hurt to just converse. And then I did see a TikTok too, a couple days ago, where the girl went up to her gym crush and she asked him, "Yeah, I think you're really attractive. Hey, can I have your number?" And he ended up saying, "Oh, I have a wife." And then she was like, "Oh, okay, have a good day." And then she left. So she made his day, because he started laughing and he was smiling, so it made him feel more confident about himself.
That'll never happen to me.
I can see that.
I have so many friends, guy friends, and that has never happened to any of us.
Really?
You know, when I get compliments, it's always like the tias, the older people, the women that are like just not really within my dating range because they're just married, or I don't get complimented. You know, the form of compliments that I receive, my mere presence causes people to react differently. You know, like when I show up, there's a clear change in how they just carry themselves.
I mean, for me, I've not by men, but girls have said that I have nice shoes at the gym, or like they just ask me
Lilo
stuff.
gets complimented a lot. Like, a lot of times it's her makeup and her hair.
Oh yeah.
I think Lilo gets more complimented than I do.
I don't know, but on TikTok, every comment,
I
so
know.
handsome.
I know, that's why I like
Or like,
TikTok.
and you know what? I hate TikTok because you guys be saying that I'm a.
Yeah, TikTok does not compliment Lilo.
Yeah,
It
TikTok be
compliments-
going after Lilo.
know. Or she's probably in line.
That
You
was a
guys
good
are
one.
assholes.
I don't see Lilo. She's probably in the taco line.
Aw.
And so, who do I think have it worse, men or women? I honestly think women have it worse. No, men have lived harder lives, but I think women have it worse. Because if both a man and a woman do the right things, I think a guy, regardless of his age, he can always start from zero. And I feel like women can do things the right way, but if they reach an older age and then they get cheated on, for example, and they have 5 kids, and it's just it'll become far more difficult for them to be able to find a significant other later on in life. And I feel like for a guy, as long as you are financially competent and you stay in shape, like you can always find someone, even regardless of what your wife does to you. Like it may be painful, but starting from zero is something that is doable for men. So that is why, like, I personally would acknowledge that it's a much more difficult life for men, but I would much rather be a guy because I feel like I'm more in control.
I disagree with that.
And I think women are more like they suffer more of the negative impact of relationship splits.
I disagree with the whole idea of women not being able to find a partner long term. It just depends on what you want. It's gonna be challenging.
Girl,
yes,
if you in your
because
40s, you got 5 kids, it's done.
actually, 20 years. No, that's not true. 20-year-olds.
If I see that my future.
No, it's not done. I don't think it's done. It just depends. Obviously, like if you're trying to commit into like a marriage and stuff like that, then it's gonna be more challenging just because you're poor. Like everybody who's in your age range is either married off with children or divorced. And then
you may get laid, but I don't think you'll find something.
You're gonna get laid.
Something serious.
But have you ever been to a retirement home? There's a lot of partnering up there too. So it's never too late for love. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know, because in my opinion, I would not date a man who had multiple baby mamas. So no, I'd rather be single.
What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comment section. Who have it the worst, men or women, when it comes to dating?
Secret film or spiritual cleansing? What was Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie doing in Veracruz?
BBO.
They went to Veracruz?
Yeah, they were in Veracruz, Mexico. On July 16, 2025, she flew commercially. So not even on private, not even with security guards or anything. From Mexico City to Veracruz with Angelina Jolie. They visited Boca del Rio, Chachalacas, and Catameco. Catameco is known for spiritual cleansing rituals, basically witchcraft. They host their annual witchcraft festival, Noche de Brujas, on the first Friday of March. Involves a mass cleansing ceremony, music, dancing, rituals of both white and black magic. Salma was interviewed and she said that she brought Angelina to show her the beauty of her home region. La traje para que veas que solo Veracruz es bello. Many speculate they were scouting Veracruz as a film location. Some people criticized them because supposedly they were abusing the resources. They were escorted throughout Veracruz on a helicopter and using funds from the state.
Imagine being on that commercial flight and sitting next to them. Like right in between Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek. That'd be crazy.
Why do you think they did that?
So that city is known for the rituals and stuff like that. So a lot of people think that maybe they were there to like cleanse out their negative energy. No. This is the conspiracy behind it. Salma Hayek is married to one of the most powerful men in, I guess you can say, the world. His name is Francois Henry Pinault. He is the CEO of Kering. So that means that he owns Yves Saint Laurent, Balenciaga, and Gucci.
Damn.
In 2022, 2023 era, there was a scandal that happened with Balenciaga. I don't know if y'all remember it. It made headlines in where children were photographed with stuffed animals and court documents alleging to like certain sketchy situations such as child pornography. And so they got a lot of backlash and people were saying like cancel the brand. But a lot of celebrities didn't actually speak up on this case, and Salma was one of them. She didn't say anything about it. And so essentially a lot of things that are happening in Veracruz are missing children and child abductions and things like that, or they also find dead bodies. And sadly, a lot of these rituals sometimes have a lot of sacrifices that they do, and so a lot of the criticism that they get, at least the governor and people in the entertainment industry, is that they're not doing enough to stop these crimes. And since she is married to a powerful man who was behind that controversial photo shoot, what were they really doing in Veracruz? What do you guys think they were doing? If you want to speculate.
I have no idea.
Maybe it was a distraction for moving children, if that's the case.
To me, I just think it's weird that they flew commercially, because
that's why
when people fly commercially is because they want to make known that they're there, or maybe they were worried that something could happen with the plane. Like, I guess when you do private, you're more prone to attacks, maybe. So since she is a powerful person, or related to or married to a powerful person, maybe she didn't want to deal with that. But I think at the end of the day, we don't know. It's just speculation. It's a conspiracy. It's also odd because a lot of times the entertainment world, especially in Hollywood, they get signaled out for throwing satanic hand symbols, kind of like sketchy. So stay tuned. Maybe in the future we're gonna find out. Lynsi Snyder is the heir for In-N-Out. It's third generation run and is still privately owned. Recently, she was in a podcast called Relatable by Ali Beth. And in that podcast, she discussed her plans and the future of In-N-Out. One of the conversations that went viral recently was that In-N-Out is no longer going to be in California. And I think they took it out of context because she is still going to have the main headquarters in Baldwin Park. And she's just closing off the Irvine headquarters because they're merging them with the Baldwin Park offices. And she's going to be moving to Tennessee. And in Tennessee, she's opening up a new headquarters in where she's going to be able to operate the East Coast side of In-N-Out. And she does mention in the podcast that she didn't want to open an In-N-Out in every state. She doesn't think every state needs it. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, she talks about a lot of points in that podcast of how the business started, dealing with marriages, children, raising a family, and she doesn't think that California is a good place anymore to raise a family. So that's one of the reasons why she's moving out to Tennessee. Do y'all think that that is an actual valid reason, or is there something bigger that maybe is happening with businesses in California that we don't know?
Damn.
I saw that they have no intentions of being a nationwide brand. I thought that was very interesting. Just because, like, In-N-Out is just one of those restaurants that's just already known worldwide. I just having stale fries, and the entire world knows about you. That shit is crazy.
She wants...
Imagining not seasoning your patties.
I think she likes the idea of In-N-Out being a place that people go out of the way to go to. I think that's why she doesn't want to be everywhere.
Maybe she wins more money from moving to Tennessee and doesn't have to go through a bunch of laws, because what I heard in the podcast that you didn't mention was that she said there was so many like things that her workers had to do, like for example when
during
she
COVID.
said during COVID they had to take the vaccines, and I guess some people couldn't, or some of her workers couldn't for some reason, and they made her shut down her whole business because of that reason. So I think it has to do with the laws here.
She actually said it wasn't the employees giving her the issue of not doing the vaccine. I think it was mainly because they were trying to enforce of who she's allowed to sell to or not. So they were telling her that she wasn't able to sell to people who don't have the COVID vaccine. So they had to show their COVID vaccine. And she wasn't okay with that because she said it didn't stand with what she believed or what she thought the direction of the company should be, like discriminating.
There's just stronger regulations in California. But they still have their headquarters here. They're still going to operate. I guess she just didn't want to put up with it. And it kind of does make sense when it comes to raising a family as to why you wouldn't want to do it in California. A lot of people, especially those who are Christian, tend to not agree with a lot of the leftist policies. And depending on where you live, there's certain areas that aren't really ideal for raising a family because of the homelessness. I know for a fact she's going to take tax cuts by not living in California. Like when she's reporting her own income, she's going to have different tax liabilities when she's in Tennessee. In her case, I feel like it was more of a personal issue. Just like I feel like when you really get to a certain level, you're just making millions and millions of dollars. Like, yeah, I'm sure taxes will hurt you, but it's not really crippling.
Yeah, and what do you think? Because it's not just In-N-Out. Tesla, Chevron, Oracle, HP are all brands that have left California and moved their headquarters. So do you think there's something that
it's just many years
happening that
I think it's many years of terrible regulation in Cali.
If you look at it from a conspiracy point of view, if the San Andreas fall and the big earthquake happened, a lot of these brands are leaving, so they don't have to deal with that, and they're slowly making the transition so that they don't have to face the consequences. Because something that happened similar was that house insurances and stuff, they also canceled the fire.
I mean, would you guys move Fernando's to another state if it meant fewer rules, but also fewer people who understand our culture?
In our case, it's kind of more challenging to move to another state because we're technically just locally operated, and we also are not really known yet.
No,
And
but
so-
if we were like in her position, would we move?
Yeah, more likely.
Where?
No, like just even now, I don't think so. You guys are married to California and Los Angeles. Like me personally,
Well, it was not
I
that
would,
I will.
like when
that's what you
when our
hire
parents
people.
were around, when my
You would
parents
wanna
were,
be
or
the
when dad
CEO
was,
of it,
when dad was
though.
around, like I was very big on the idea of moving to Texas, but I personally couldn't do it because right now, like California treats me so well, right? But for example, if one of you guys wanted to move to a different state, I would be so in for it, right? And I talked to dad about it, and him moving to a different state, it would be very cool because him and mom would go, and then I would just get catering gigs for them whenever they book up, right? And we can just film content, checking the analytics. We have an audience in Texas, so it wouldn't be a bad idea. So for example, like if you two were to also leave and go to a different state, you guys would just produce content every day for the social media of the business, and in hopes to get more clients while I'm over here satisfying the clients that we currently have. I wasn't against the idea of that at all, but it really seems like currently our family is very married to being here in LA. Because every time I pitch the idea of even going somewhere like an hour or 2 hours away, they seem to be against it.
Yeah, that's how I'm surprised that Jocelyn said right now that she would consider it.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be the one moving. I would hire a CEO, and they would be moving the headquarters, or starting off a new at the East Coast, so that we could cater in the East Coast. Obviously, in the beginning, I would have to, especially if I'm one of the leaders, I have to be there, to start establishing things. But eventually, I don't have to stay there. Like, I could travel here and there. And the reason I say yes is because I've always wanted to travel. I haven't gone to all 50 states, so I wouldn't mind temporarily living in another state, having that flexibility to come back to California.
That's not true. You're married to LA.
I wouldn't mind living in Texas a couple months, and then New York a couple months. It's different. I think cities have different experiences, different stories to tell, and it's
So
cool.
that what you're talking about is just vacationing.
No, because I would go, because if you're establishing a brand, if you're building headquarters and you're training staff and you're opening restaurants, you have, and I don't see anything
just
wrong with
a year or
that.
2 years. No, you would be
No,
like,
you
I
don't
think
have-
your guys'
That's why
idea
you would
of
hire
having a
CEO.
business and
Yes, I
hiring
guess
people
maybe
to
I'm
do
not
things
gonna hire.
is a huge disconnect with reality when it comes to you guys, and how difficult it is to actually build a business. And then you're telling me you're going to be in a different state while everyone is operating.
Yeah.
That's not how things work.
So how come she can do it?
She's not.
She's going there.
Yes, she is.
She's
running. Yes, she's running those businesses too. If they're opening 35 restaurants in Tennessee, you really don't think that she's going to be involved in how it's going to happen?
You're
She has a say.
comparing something entirely
No,
different.
it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
She
It
doesn't
is
have
not.
to
You
be
don't-
in Tennessee. She could go
Okay,
back to
you
California.
don't even have one employee.
Exactly. That's why we're just saying hypothetically, if I was a big business, I wouldn't mind having a different headquarters too. But that's just speaking about hypothetical situations, because obviously I'm not in that position.
What do you think their CEO would say if she ate our tacos?
She'd be like, damn, I'm in the wrong business. Our burgers are internationally known. This is a hidden gem. They actually season their beef. Their chips are not stale. Their cheese is not the highlight of their meal.
You're roasting her company. Her
You
fries.
like In-N-Out? I think
I think In-N-Out is overrated.
I was
In-N-Out.
gonna ask that. Is it overrated or not?
100%. 100% overrated.
So you can find better?
I can make better burgers.
Oh, you're right. I made in the burgers that he made.
Comment down below if you think In-N-Out is overrated. I will say they could work on their fries, but I don't hate their fries, but I think they could work on their fries. I like their burgers. I'm okay with their burgers. I think she'll enjoy the guacamole. She'll be like, this is the highlight of the menu.
L. she thought about it to come back.
No, but in all seriousness, she would like the presentation of it, I would say, and how it's a family business, because she's also a family business, and she values that. That's one of her values, I would say.
Never being able to eat our tacos again, or never being able to eat In-N-Out. What would you choose?
Never eating In-N-Out.
The only reason I would say never eating In-N-Out is because at least with the tacos we have the variety. In-N-Out is just, the burger. And
there's so many other burger places.
I like having, the
feel
option of chicken, steak, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but I do love burgers. Yeah. I love burgers.
No, but it just goes to show that they're not that unique when it comes to their quality of food. I think if we had an international presence in the same way that they do, same amount of locations, I think everyone would agree they would rather go without In-N-Out, because I think it's very easy to find a good quality burger. This is my opinion.
Comment down below if you rather live without Fernando's Catering or without In-N-Out.
Online, some people have been saying that they're going to stop eating at In-N-Out because it's not going to be in California anymore. Mm-hmm. Are you guys going to stop eating at In-N-Out?
No.
I just think it was thrown out of context, and so they don't understand that it's still in California.
Yeah.
So are you going to stop eating at In-N-Out, Lilo?
No. No.
Ismael?
Last time I went, I saw a cute girl with green eyes at the drive-thru, so I would definitely be going back.
I told you to go. She was there again, and you didn't.
How did
You saw her?
I think so.
When did you go? Oh,
she was taking orders, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. A memorable quote that Lynsi said in the podcast is, I want to serve God by honoring what my family started.
That's cute.
I really appreciate that In-N-Out is rooted on, Christianity and just believing in the Lord. Hopefully, those intentions are genuine, and not just for clout, but they seem pretty genuine. Survey was done to evaluate if their employees would recommend working for In-N-Out, and 90% of them said they would. So the podcaster asked her, what does she do to create a good work environment or retain her employees or have that outcome? She said it comes down to connecting with your employees and being able to be vulnerable with them. So when you are training them, establishing a connection, and also paying them well and treating them well.
And
so with respect and as a family, she feels responsible for them and wants them to feel God's love. So I feel like a lot of her work is based on her beliefs and what her family has taught her.
I wish they would put some of that love and passion into their fries.
Hey brother, aren't you getting an MRI soon?
Yeah, I'm scheduled to get an MRI to make sure everything's all good from the accident.
Make sure you take that chain off.
On July 16, 2025, in New York, a 61-year-old man was unfortunately killed when he entered an MRI room while his wife was undergoing a scan. He was wearing a 20-pound training chain around his neck. Despite MRI safety protocols requiring removal of all metals, he was allowed in by a technician. The magnet immediately pulled him in, and he remained lodged in the machine for almost an hour before emergency responders freed him. He suffered multiple heart attacks and died the following day. His wife described pleading with the technician to turn off the MRI, call 911, anything to release him.
That's sad.
MRI machines always have their magnets on. Even when not actively scanning, they can attract ferromagnetic objects from across the room, turning them into high-speed projectiles. These safety measures exist, but sadly, sometimes hospitals staff don't always enforce them. And I think that's why it's important for you as a patient, when a doctor asks you a list of questions, for you to answer sincerely and to be listening, because it matters at the end. If it took 1 hour for the responders to arrive, like, why do you think that was the case?
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't it
I thought
weird?
someone was like overseeing it, the
Yeah,
MRI.
they're supposed. Yeah, there was
Someone's
somebody
supposed to
overseeing
be
it.
there, just like looking, making sure
Yeah, that
the images
person.
are being taken.
That person opened the door so that they could come in and do something with their wife at the time.
To
He was
what?
coming in. I don't know.
Why the heck do you have a training
Yeah.
training chain on your neck? 20 pounds.
Yeah, the technician just allowed the person in. And because sometimes, when you're like, it happens with my mom when she goes to doctor visits, she's like, oh, Jocelyn, can you come and do this or something?
Yeah, but
And
okay,
you
so
come
why
in,
would
you're
it
not
take an
supposed to.
hour for
I know, that's the
them
question.
to turn it off?
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know if
make
you could
sense.
just turn it off. I don't know the safetyness or like the situation and how it is, if you could just do that, because like I read before, the magnets are always working. So if it's a magnet, you can't really. The problem was that he had the chain on, and
He didn't try taking it off?
when they were there, no, I don't know.
Like, I find it hard to believe like this would cause any, like, I understand it pushing it towards him, but is it like multiple magnets pushing him this way and this way and that way and that way and that way, and he continues to rotate? Like, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to like find it.
When you get your MRI scan, you could ask the doctor.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him.
Who should be held accountable when tech goes wrong? The hospital, the maker, or the guy who didn't double check safety?
Or the idiot that didn't take off his chain before
But
going
like,
into
how would you know
No.
if she just said the guy who was in charge just let him in? If it was that visible, that chain, he could have told him, hey, you can't bring that in.
Maybe he thought it wasn't real metal.
No, that's what I'm saying. Double check safety, guy.
Well, who's at fault doesn't really matter, because that's what insurances are for, so they're gonna get sued for sure.
No, but it's a big mistake for you to make as a
And he's gonna
technician.
get fired.
Yeah. And it's gonna be.
But I'm still shocked. An hour, like, that part to me doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the fact that he was there an hour and that no responders came. Like, you're in a hospital, shouldn't there be first responders?
And the wife only knew that after
Yeah, the
that
person
hour.
could just walk after seeing that happen. They would just storm in, and I'm pretty sure the MRI, because I seen in House, the medical show. Oftentimes when the patients, obviously this is a show, right? But I'm pretty sure there's some similarities to that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they would have seizures when they go inside the MRI because whatever illness they had, and to get them out, they would rush inside and then they would press a button and it would just bring them out, right?
Yeah,
So
but it's different when.
I'm pretty sure there's an emergency button outside of the MRI where someone can just go in, press it, and the machine stops. It's kind of like if you're on a treadmill and you clip on the emergency thing in case you fall, the machine turns off. So every there's no way 2025 that's not going to be a thing.
In India, in 2018, a 32-year-old was pulled into an MRI while carrying a metal oxygen cylinder. The machine magnet yanked him and the cylinder went into the scanner. He reportedly inhaled liquid oxygen leaking from the burst container and died shortly. Between 2004 and 2008, Pennsylvania recorded 27 projectile cases, ranging from wheelchairs to oxygen tanks. In 2001, a 6-year-old child was killed in New York when an oxygen tank flew into the MRI room and crushed his skull.
Damn, that's crazy.
Sad.
In California, in 2024, a wheelchair was inadvertently brought into an MRI room and forcefully pulled into the scanner, narrowly missing a patient. The incident prompted safety investigation across imaging facilities.
So when I go get my MRI, I'm gonna go in the room, and you guys need to come and just be bodyguards. No one can come in. That's crazy because you could just be getting your MRI and then some idiot just walks in, and some old guy looking for the fucking restroom, and then his oxygen tank just goes in there and smashes my skull in. Oh, hell no. I don't know how I feel about this anymore.
Yeah, it's a very tragic story. Their family has been able to raise like about $7,000 in GoFundMe for funeral costs. I mean, I think in this situation it's tricky to pinpoint exactly who was at fault, because if the guy was briefed and he didn't listen, but also the technician should have never left it inside in general. And from my understanding, I would say that there would be a lot of warning signs around saying like, do not enter with metal chains or metal or Lululemon or whatever it is.
Maybe they don't.
And if they didn't, they're gonna have to place that. But from my understanding, sometimes in hospitals they're pretty strict about who can be in a room and not, because I've gone to visit.
Yeah, so hearing this kind of surprises me, because
Yeah.
they normally are very strict.
They come in and they're like, you can't be here, hours are like done. And the thing is like, you're just in the room sitting with the patient, so that's a little different to me. But in terms of like surgeries and all that stuff, they have like procedures that are in place for a reason. And I just think it's tragic that this happened. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Make sure to subscribe, follow us on Spotify if you want to. If you have any topics that you would like us to cover, comment them down below or DM us personally.